Hey Robin, everyone loves the Drake fans here. Just a little video here. I thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do, and I'll probably come back and do this every now and again. And that is to hop on over here to eBay and just type in Tim Drake Robin and see what the most expensive Tim Drake items are and see what's going. Now you can list anything for any amount on eBay. So I'm going to go down here and see what actually sold. So if you go over here to the left, you can see show only. So we're going to click sold items. Um, and then over here, instead of end recently, well, let's go over to uh, highest plus the shipping and see here. And I think if it has this like line through it right here, you can see. I think that means the sale fell through for whatever reason. The buyer didn't pay or the seller canceled. So that one probably doesn't count. But this is kind of interesting because we talked in my last video about the first appearance of Tim Drake being, if we look here, the third thing right here, they all have line through through them, was here in Batman 436, the first appearance of Tim Drake. But he's only in like two or three panels, and it's not really that impressive. It's just kind of like a little kid Tim Drake in the side. I don't even think it's got his full body in it. It's just like his head at the circus. So most collectors of Tim Drake, they really this is the primo issue right here, Batman 457, because that is the first time we see Tim Drake as Robin, and that's kind of uh, more desirable. Plus, it's a really cool cover. Um, and you'll notice on this, it's the newsstand edition. So you can see right here in this box that they'd always have on here. The box has a barcode as opposed to the direct market, like a comic book store that would have a picture. If I click on this image, let's see, sometimes it gives me grief because it's an listing has ended. Yes, come on. Let's see. Is it? Oh, there it is. If you notice, there were multiple printings of this book, and here you can see right at the top it says new Robin issue. That only occurs on the second printing and the newsstand. And these newsstand issues are much rarer. They're much harder to find, and people will pay a premium. But it's weird because it's the same exact issue, just it's a barcode. So stop doing that here. It's a barcode in the little box. It's like, is it really worth that much for a barcode? Um, Now, this was an 8.0, which is not that great for a book that came out in the 90s. And it looks like there's a mark over the barcode, which I would have, well, I don't know much about grading. I would have thought that might have marked it a lot lower than just an 8.0, especially for a more modern book, but you can see newsstand edition, second printing. It's that second printing that has that new Robin issue on the top of it, which is kind of weird. I don't have that. I only have the direct market, and mine is the first printing, which you would think would be more desirable, but it's not. It's the second printing newsstand that everybody wants is the rare one. But it's kind of like why? It's just the barcode, people. This was cool. Tom Grummett original artwork. That um, looks like it's from A Lonely Place of Dying. Teen Titans 64. No, maybe not. Maybe that was the one where the new Titan 64. Let me see here real quick. I think that was the one where Tim is already working with Batman, and he goes to meet Dick Grayson for some training. Let me see. There's so many different issues. Is this Titan 64? Well, I don't know what that is then. Oh, maybe that was the issue before it. Let me see. What is 65? All right, 65. Yeah, 65. This is the issue. So I guess 64. I didn't even realize I had 65. I didn't even realize 64 had that little panel at the very end of it that has Tim Drake. I wonder if Rob knows about that. Uh, but 65 we talked about on the podcast. This was an issue that we really liked a lot. It had some really cool stuff and how Dick is training Tim, and there's this one scene where they like go to like a merry-go-round, kind of like a park, and Tim is like, "Why are we just sitting here?" And then Dick starts drilling him with all these questions of like, well, how many people were on the merry-go-round, and how many were men, and how many were women, and how many were young, and how many were old. And Tim is like, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. Uh, and it's like you got to pay attention to that stuff to be Robin. So I thought that was really cool to see how like the training works and how a detective would work. So that's kind of a cool piece of art. I don't know if I'd pay $400 for it, but you never know because when it says best offer accepted, you don't know if it was listed for this. You don't know exactly what the offer was and what was taken. Let's see here. There's a 436 looks like it sold for 299 and then somebody backed out. This one is interesting. I wish Rob was on here. He could tell me more about this. Robin Tim Drake 2008 Mattel DC Universe Classics World Greatest Superheroes, $279.99 plus 14.90 for shipping for this figure. I don't collect figures like this, so I don't know much about it. I don't know if this was that hard to find back in 2008, if it was made um, in short supply. He does have the 1 year later costume, which was worn by Tim Drake in the Batman animated series and for a while in the 1 year later storylines of DC Comics. And I think he wore that costume all the way up until he became Red Robin. I got to double check that. Here's another 457. This is a 9.8 that went for $209. But again, this is second printing, but it's not the newsstand edition. See, it's the you can see on that square there, though the rectangle, I should say, it's the Batman logo. Which again, is it worth that much more for a barcode? It's just kind of, but that's a second printing. So you can see on the top it says New Robin issue, and then here is was that a first printing? Uh, yeah, this looks like a first printing of the newsstand because it does not. Let me see if I click on it. It does not say. See, whenever it's the listing is ended. Yeah. See. Oh, oh, yeah, I can zoom in. Let's zoom in here. You can see right here. It does not say New Robin issue on there. A lot of times, as that says December 11th, 1990. The other one had it like crossed out with marker. A lot of times where it says 457 there, the second printing would have a little Roman numeral 2 sometimes to distinguish it as a second printing. Um, or sometimes they would change the color of the DC bullet. I don't think the second printing, let me see. Let's see if it had the little Roman numeral. Let's click on it here. Had 17 bids. That's pretty decent. Um, Let's see. Yep. No, no, no Roman numeral. I guess they figured having it say New Robin issue was good enough. In December 1990. Wow, it's a long time ago. Feels like just a long time ago. It does not feel like yesterday. All right. Let's see. What else we got? We got another 457. Another 457. This was a 9.4. Then this might be my just one of my all-time favorite covers. Batman 442, part of the Lonely Place of Dying miniseries, which, as you know, if you listen to our podcast, you know this is Rob lives and dies for this miniseries. To him, this is his Dark Knight Returns, and it's such a cool cover. And one of the things about this when it first came out, and I saw it, I thought, that rectangular box we were talking about there with the barcode. I was like, this doesn't have a rectangular box. They don't. They. Why does it not have a rectangular box? This is so strange. It's just not. Doesn't make any sense, but it does. It's just invisible. Because if you see this little part where it says DC Comics aren't just for kids, all right. If you look on the newsstand edition, which I believe there's a newsstand edition here somewhere, you'll see. Let's see, where is there a newsstand edition one? Oh, oh, anyway, somewhere somebody's got a newsstand edition of it somewhere. In the newsstand edition, it maybe if I click on it again, it'll take me to a newsstand edition. The newsstand edition has the barcode there instead of the kids are DC Comics aren't just for kids. So all these are kind of cut off. Sometimes, Oh, there it is, right there. Look at that. So if you click on this here, you'll see there's the barcode. And I didn't find that out for years and years and years. And I love that art of Batman and Nightwing and Alfred. Even Alfred looks awesome in this cover. And you can see it's a George Perez cover. So he always makes these like muscular legged Robins. So his covers are pretty awesome. All right. So we kind of talked about, the first appearances here of Tim Drake, uh, which it's kind of there's the first appearance of Tim Drake, then there's the first Tim Drake as Robin, and then there's the first Tim Drake as the new Robin. So it gets confusing. But this I don't know. Remember we were talking about how Batman Year Three only sells for a couple of dollars. Somebody was putting it up for 300, and then 150. I'm not really sure what happened in that one there. Oh, but this one is really cool because I love this cover and it's signed by Perez and Wolfman. So that's pretty awesome. And it's a 9.8 and it's verified since it's CGC. So those signatures are authentic. Um, and only 150. I think that's a pretty good deal. Whoever got that, I think got a really good deal on that one. Congratulations. So if we look at some other things that sold here, this is another DC Multiverse 6-inch Red Robin Tim Drake Series 12. That went for $129.99. I think this is fairly new. It said sold November 5th. So I'm going to have to ask Rob about these action figures here. Um, and let's see, something else that's not a comic book. Detective Comics 682, page 21. Graham Nolan and Scott Hanna, Tim Drake. This went for $102.50. Let me see if I remember what this one's from. Sometimes it's kind of cool. You'll look on and see who's selling these. This DJ Pinkerton, I don't know that guy, but sometimes it's the actual artists who have their own eBay page. Um, Looks like he's got a lot of original artwork. This I don't. Is that the one where Harvey Bullock gets hit? Yeah, we talked about this on the podcast. Yeah, where Harvey Bullock gets hit in the face with like an oil barrel. Yeah, and basically Tim Drake kind of saves his life here and carries him out of there. I think if I'm not mistaken, this should be like a trivia question. Whose leg is that? And I bet some people are right now screaming at me who it is. But that, I believe, is the leg of the KG Beast right there. And that is Hardback, who likes to read, I think it's Hardback, right? He likes to read a lot of books. So that's why they called him Hardback. Um, yeah, this guy. I wonder how much other Tim Drake. I should put that in. That could be another video. I'll put in. I'll do a search for Tim Drake original art and see what comes up. I bet you there'll be some cool stuff. All right. Let's see what else is selling here. This I saw this the other night when I was thinking about doing this. This is really cool. This I'm going to open up in a new tab here. Somebody made. I don't know where they got this here. They're Hertford, North Carolina. I don't know where that is. They have an original sketch by Tom Grummett on the Young Justice. This would have been better if it wasn't Young Justice Wonder Comics, but it's an original sketch by Tom Grummett. There it is in 2000 and what does that say? 2000, 2000. I guess it's got to be 2000. It looks like 2010, but 2020. There it is. I couldn't see right there. 2020. And who inked it there? Let me see. Because it should say up here. Well, it won't let me zoom in, will it? Um, Maybe the other one. I could have. No. All right. Let me move up and see if I can. Stop doing that to me. All right. There we go. Colored and inked by Steve Lydick. I don't know who that is. Looks like he did it 3 months after Tom Grummett. Signed and sketched by Tom Grummett on 3/1/20, and then in the middle of the pandemic. So that I thought was pretty cool. Even though I wasn't a big fan of Young Justice, so but you gotta use those sketch covers when you can. Um, Somebody sold a massive set of Tim Drake books. That's a pretty good collection right there. 38 bids. That's a lot for Tim. This is kind of a cool statue, the animated series. $81. That's kind of high. Custom Tim Drake figure. OOAK. I don't know what that means. Uh, Probably people are laughing at me. With stick, DC Collectibles, $88. So did somebody make that? And why did they make the domino mask uh, red? Let me see that. Where was that picture? Yeah, that's more of like a. It's red. That's weird. Tim always had a um, black, but it kind of looks like they took a Nightwing figure and turned it into Tim Drake? I don't know. Somebody out there who knows more about action figures and collectibles will have to fill me in on that. I'm just thinking it's Nightwing by the eyes. If you look at the sort of the mask of the eyes, that line. But I don't know. Could have been anything. Could have been a Transformer. I don't know. Maybe it was Bumblebee or something like that. What else do we got? We got some that DC Universe Classic. Come back to me. There we go. Classic Wave 3 Tim Drake. Those are going for like $80. That's pretty impressive. Um, and then this kind of surprised me. I don't know if this is kind of if there's one or two issues in here that are cause this to go for $71 or what. But I thought that was a pretty high price for the whole Red Robin 1 through 26 complete set, which I have all this somewhere. This is a great run. This is a great series. It got 11 bids, $71 plus $15 shipping. That is I think that's a pretty high price for these comic books. You know, that's about $3 a book. Um, so I think that's pretty good. It's definitely worth the read. This is a little weird. Batman, Red Robin, superhero Damian Wayne, Tim Drake cosplay. Uh, when in the heck did Damian ever wear anything like this at all? Unless you're Damian Wayne cosplaying Tim Drake, which he would never ever do. So not really sure what that that's all about. That was somebody who doesn't really know what it is. Um, and I think this is now we're getting into like the $50 range here from some stuff. So this is kind of nothing nothing too crazy right here. Um, yeah, now we're starting to get a lot more figures. This is where Rob is probably saying like, no, stop. You know, go over these. But I don't really know much about those, so I'm gonna stop. What is this? Red Robin shoes cosplay. Tim Drake, Young Justice men's boots. Huh? Somebody just paint some boots, or you know what? I bet it was. I wonder if somebody cosplayed Tim Drake, and now they're trying to sell their stuff. Um, right here. So I wonder if they have more stuff for sale. Let's see. Who is this? Who are you? Oh, they, or maybe they just make lots of boots. There's lots of boots. I don't know if these are from the same people. Ooh, some of these are expensive. Wow. I am not into cosplay, so I had not realized quite how yeah, look at all this. Not how detailed it is, but I've seen the YouTube videos of Comic Cons. I'm not going myself and standing in those lines. I'm too old, but to do that. But yeah, I guess that's pretty elaborate. That's kind of cool. So well, here's a. I was wondering if there'd be a Funko Pop. Red Wing Robin went for 43.95. Not too bad. Um, it's kind of funny. Here we are all the way down here, and I'm not sure what's this listed at, but we get our first Robin One miniseries, the kind of the book that started it all. And gosh, looking at that cover, I could like smell my old comic book store. Wasn't really a good smell, but it's nostalgic. And it's got the Neil Adams poster, and it only went for $40, and that sale fell through. So they that that book they made a lot of copies of that book. There's a lot of those out there. So that might be why. And well, I've never seen this one before. Teen Titans, DC Direct. Gosh, there's so many statues, so many things. Um, well, this one went for 29.81. That other one went for a lot more. I think that's the same one. Maybe there's like some kind of variant or something. It's kind of weird when you look at this. Sometimes you'll see two items that go for the same price but very different prices, and you think, man, if that person would have waited, they could have done a lot better. Like some of these Funko Pops, like this one went for 30. I guess timing's everything. Sometimes the description, the rating of the seller, a lot of factors in it. New custom printed Red Robin Tim Drake DC Universe block minifigure. So did they make that on a 3D printer? That's kind of cool. All right. So I think. Oh yeah, I always wanted this. Look at that. That's my birthday, November 1st, right there. The Joker's Wild holographic DC promo poster. Um, yeah, let me click on this. Take a look at the pictures. Um, I didn't see this till much, much later in my life. And I'm still not even 100% sure what it all is. Oh, it's just the poster. Oh, okay. This is just the poster. It's kind of a cool poster. Went for 20 bucks. Yeah, there's like a book that goes with it. There was some kind of book that this was in. Um, Oh, anyway, I'll try to find that. Maybe we'll do a whole video on all the different covers of the Joker's Wild. They went crazy with that thing here. All right, so let's just do one last thing just for fun here. If this is what the highest selling is, let's see what the lowest selling thing is. So if we go, what was the lowest selling Tim Drake Robin? Oh, and there it is, Batman 457, not graded. You can see there is a huge difference between something that's graded and something that is not graded in price. And a DC minifigs or mini mates Robin Tim Drake, 99 cents. Not a bad deal. Here again, look at that, the whole mini series. You get the whole mini series of Robin. I remember being a kid, seeing that poster in the comic book store, buying Robin #1 and just be like, this is the first issue of Robin. And I'm gonna keep this one day and just be rich. And comic book kids are such nerds. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna be rich and I'm gonna buy a car and buy all these crazy wild things with my money. No, I'm gonna use my money to pay for my college. I'm gonna get a higher education with my money. And here I am in 2021, and it's going for $1.25 for the whole, not one of them, the whole set. Get the whole set for $1.25. So it's kind of interesting. But on that note, we're gonna say sayonara. See you later. See you next time, and have a great day, everybody.